Hello beautifuls, my name is Epic Treasure. Welcome to the channel. This video today is one that is quite interesting because it was the trailer that was released on January the 4th, 2025 by Pocket Pair, and it's called The Three Little Pals, Palworld animation. And I found it very interesting because there's items in this trailer that align with rumors and leaks. So not only that, but there's certain items in this also that we don't have. And what history has shown us that everything basically, unless it's a seasonal type of thing, has rang true with the content that comes out asset-wise. So let's start it again, and we're going to stop it as new things arrive. So this is the first one. This is appearing to be a half wall. So as you can see, we have a very prominent top part, right? So I thought, oh, they're just building it in this animation. Well, look what happens with this one. Because you know we want our half walls. So we go from daylight in a minute, half wall. And what happens is that half wall turns and is changed into a window, just like when you do a replacement in the game. So that's very interesting. Let me just play that bit again. Right? So I find that fascinating. Now, in the rumors and leaks, there's no mention of half walls, I can tell you that much. So that's not one that I'm, aligning with it, but my gosh, you know that we want it. Comment below what you'd like to see in the game too. I'm compiling a wish list to put towards Pocket Pair. We also see a shovel over there. It would be very interesting, I'll say, it would be great to have, and I'm going to mention the metal detector again. The metal detector would be quite amazing if there were sort of dig-em-ups on the beaches. So we've got Night Star, sounds a bit flaccid, but to have, to actually use the metal detector in a way that is more purposeful than just chromite is amazing. So you can just imagine, just wandering up and down the beach, and if you're using controller, it vibrates when it could be a legendary item or something like that that's close by. I go into detail about these kind of things with my sort of wishes and ideas. Another one was to have this moment in the game that might be seasonal, might be once a month or something like that, where this big light appears in the sky, for example, and that sort of heralds, this golden egg, this very special egg that is like a mythic creature, and you have to go find it, and just all these amazing ideas that can come through, even with the new content diving into the watery aspect of it, to consider having message in a bottle, but they're actually schematics in the bottles. Or they could be even treasure maps inside those bottles. The list is endless. I could go on and on forever with these ideas, but I digress. The shovel there just sort of, comes to mind, that sort of dig 'em up aspect of it. But no, I think that suits the metal detector far more. I guess you kind of need to dig it up. You can't just get a metal detector and dig with your hands all the time, can you? But let's go on. There's only so many inventory spots. That's everybody's house when they start, except we've usually got a flat roof. So this spot here, we've got our beloved and most hated, I believe, flowers in the vase, which most of us just plant down and then put the other pot plants around it. We've got a rubber duck there, which I've never seen before. And then there's another, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's another vase, but I've never seen that before. All this down here is just a feed bowl. This is a really important part here. So if you remember in the game, there's not many people use these at all. The guns, the deco guns, where you shoot them and it shoots out a sticker. And there's like an Anubis one. You can actually shoot them other players. They eventually disappear. You can put them anywhere. I was quite amazed by them actually. And one of the items that was rumored was literally, it was called a sticker, and it had Kativa's head on it. And this is exactly it. This one's quite interesting to see pop up. Not only that, so we can tick that off the list too. We have also in the rumors, there's 3 new lights with lighting. And here we see these lights here. These don't exist in the game at this point in time as of the 8th of June 2025. So these are new. These would be very welcomed in the game, I can tell you that much, because the white lights are beautiful, like when you've got white lighting with glass, they light all the glass up in a beautiful like emerald city type of green, whereas the warm color, you know, adds that warmth. But obviously these lights, as I said, they're not in the game. We've got like a ceiling light that's flat. We've got another ugly ceiling light. The lamps we've got are beautiful, the street lamps, but there's like 4 of them. There's a big one, and there's a smaller one. There's one that's got a hook sort of thing. And in this situation, if you look at a wall like that, usually I would get a wall, a standalone wall, and hook the hooked lamppost over it. And that's how it looks like it goes into the wall. The other thing in this scene, which is interesting, is down here, this tree down here. And one of the other rumors was that in the decoration section, there'd be a big banyan, like a banyan tree. And a lot of those are up north too. They've got all those sort of hanging kind of root things with them. So it's going to be interesting to see what that is. I haven't seen it, but with that name, that's what it looks like. So interesting little tidbit there. And that gives us an even better look at those banyan trees there. Now, this is an interesting part too. We'll dive a little bit deeper into this as we get closer. So actually, we'll just go back a little bit for a moment. So on the veranda, on the deck here, we can see literally half walls that are part of the veranda. Okay, so remember, this came out January on the 4th. These don't exist in the game. These half walls don't exist. There's no metal half walls. These are literal walls here and here. But as far as I can see, they don't exist, you know, with rumors and things like that. But this is probably the most asked for, demanded item in the whole game thus far. The other thing that we notice with this is there's lamp posts here. We can see the clear posts here. But what happens is there's 2 posts right here, 2 lamps, street lamps here and here. And I thought at first when I saw it, oh my God, we're actually going to be able to mount these onto the wall. But look what happens when you go inside though. This is another aspect that I need to mention. Another rumor and leak, if you will, included grapes and hops, which you use to make beer with. Beer was another one that was listed, and also wine was another one that was listed. However, already on these tables have these objects. They have like, you know, the mugs, etc. They've got the plates and la, la, la. So it's a little bit hard to say if this means anything at all. I don't know, but at least want to put it out there. We can see the leather, the orange leather couch in the background there. I'm sure it exists. So this is an important part. As I said before, it looked like there was wall-mounted like lanterns, but as you can see, these lanterns here are going through the wall. So I don't know if that is actually going to be a thing. That would be amazing if they did do that, but I'm not sort of holding any weight to it. Let's continue. As you can see, there's the pole there. And over here we have flowers. Now, this one's a little bit of a difficult one because they are very similar to the planter, you know, the flower, when you make those planter boxes to you get the beautiful flowers from the wildlife sanctuaries, etc. That definitely looks like one of those ones that you make in the game. So let me just show you what I'm talking about if you don't know. Let me just hide that for a second. Window capture. Turn it on. Come on, come to me. Gummunder over here. This here, the flower bed, right? So that flower bed perfectly matches what's right left of him. But bro is absolutely standing next to a half wall there. Continue. And again, there's those lamp posts behind him that go through the wall. And off he waves. So let me know what you think. If you're a very observant, cluey person, I would love to have you constantly checking in whenever new trailers come out. Whenever a new trailer comes out for DLC, I would love to have you in the channel. I'd love to have you pick it apart. Now, what I am not very good at is the geography of the game. So if they show certain land masses or certain mountains, that's something I suck at. And that's a very good reason why people knew exactly where the last DLC island was. They knew by the shape of the mountains in the background. I don't know how they did it. Another thing that I'm not proficient at is the weapons. So in these trailers or whatever trailers that they release, they could be wielding a certain weapon and I won't know if that's new or not. So that's really important too. When it comes to building, that's a whole different ball game. That's something that I know what exists in the game. So this scene here says a lot, I think. So let's see if we're right. Come check back in. Come join the Discord channel. There's a link in the description below. There's an amazing community there too, answering questions. I'll jump into some people's games and overhaul their bases depending on time. And you can share your base pictures there, ask for ideas. And as soon as Pocket Pair releases any information, any announcements, it's immediately spat out in the announcement channel in my Discord too. So you don't have to wait for news or anything like that, which is really handy. And that's sort of like if they release new skins or trailers, etc. No messy, boring, annoying stuff, but very purposeful, important stuff that that very much affects the game. Tell me what you think. I love and leave you. Have an amazing day or night. I'll talk to you soon.